Well, Alan, here we are looking ahead to the Christmas schedule, and we start with Spennymoor, a good old tasty local derby on Saturday.
Yeah, it's every year we'll play Spennymoor away, and I think we've got a win each last year. We won a decent run of form at that time, and I think the fence incident obviously didn't help where we at their place, but at home, I think anyone could have probably won that game on the day, and it took a Tomo penalty, the 100 goal, as everyone knows, and he set that little record, and obviously we've got him coming back, so it'll be nice to see him again, but we've got to ultimately go out there and try and get the 3 points.
Home form, we've played 8 matches at home this season and won 5 of them, which isn't bad going, really, is it?
No, like I've said, I've looked at it, Ray, and our form in general hasn't been bad. We've won 9 out of 14 in all competitions. There's not many teams at our level that have won 9 games out of 14 games. I think we're the second highest, albeit most of them have been in the cup. But we've got to play them games. It's the same as anyone else. So when I've broken it all down, it's not too bad. But there's games where we threw away, the Telford at home, New at home, etc. There's 2 games that we did expect to win, in all honesty. But obviously the FA Cup probably had an impact and an effect on that. So we definitely need to pick up our first home win of the season in the league, basically. So the lads know what we need to do. It doesn't help having been split dressing rooms because of COVID. That does have a little bit of an impact. Away from home, we're not in split dressing rooms, so it seems to have a little bit of a negative impact for us. So we need to try and get that right and get the mentality right. But this is a local derby. We know what they're like. It's going to be tough. Spennymoor, I expect to be right up there. Yes, in a little bit of a sticky spot because Jason's left, who's done unbelievably well for them. So we've got to be careful of it. We've got to make sure that we're at our best. And as I say, all the fans a home league win for Boxing Day. So hopefully we'll get that done.
Yeah. 2 days after the Spennymoor game, though, we got Blythe at home. So are you thinking maybe a little bit of a touch of squad rotation? I mean, that's 2 games in 3 calendar days, but it'll be 2 games in 50 hours.
There'll definitely be rotation, without a doubt. The lads know that. I've told them everyone needs to be ready. And you look at the squad I've got, there's quality coming in for quality, so I haven't got any problem with that. I've just got to try and pick the best team and formation, what I think will get that result. And I know how Spennymoor play. Blythe a little bit unknown because we've got new players and a new manager up there, but Spennymoor, we know how they play, so we need to match that and make sure that we're trying to know their threat and with impact our own threat. So we'll have some work to do, but I'm sure it'll be a good game, especially for the Northeast.
Looking at Melvin Minter, you'll be pleased that you've extended his loan for another month up till the middle of January.
Yeah, when you do his last game on Saturday there, and the kid done unbelievable. He kind of taken away from him. He done like I looked at these saves. I've looked back at these saves, and you expect your goalkeeper to make the saves, but it was just the manner that he made the saves, and there wasn't any worldies that he had to make. In all honesty, it was just basic goalkeeping, but he done it extremely well. What I liked about it, he was coming and catching things and punching things, and that helps massively. It just helps the back four massively, and I think you could see the lads were really fatigued in that game. And it's expected. I think people have got to expect that after being 16 days off without kicking a ball, without doing any football whatsoever. To play 2 games in 4 days is a little bit tough. So to win them both, delighted. You cannot argue with that. We've won them. Performance-wise, weren't great, but they weren't going to be. We just had to do enough to win the game, and we've done that. So we can't really complain too much, because there's that many times we've won games, we've played really well, and not won a game. So it's nice to have that back a little bit. But Melvin, I think he won it forward. You can see that. And I spoke to him straight after the game, and he wanted to stay. He just wants to play. The kid wants to play, which at this moment in time, he's in that number 1 spot.
Yeah. You mentioned about our games there, and I know we've touched upon this several times, but we've only played 7 league games. We're second bottom of the table, so with 35 league games to go, there's still a lot to play for this season, as well as the day trip to Weymouth in the FA Trophy. It's there's a lot to play for still here, Alan, isn't there?
it still feels like the start of the season, Ray. In all honesty, even the home games, they feel like pre-season games at times because the fans aren't there. But as I say, 36 games still to play. It's just absolutely ridiculous at this stage of the season. And like, we've looked at the January schedule, you can see how brutal it is, especially considering these lads have got to go to work on the Wednesday after travelling back from the Brackley. So, and all other ones that they play on the Tuesday. Then on top of that, I can tell you now, February's going to be much the same. And if we do get through against Weymouth, it's going to be even worse. So it's it is what it is. We've just got to get on with it. I am still looking. The board have given us permission to go and bring a couple of bodies in if needed, but I won't do it on a whim. It'll be done properly, looking at players, and I've got my eye on players that I would like, but again, a lot will be decided by finances and everything, and we're in a good position financially. We've got a good squad. The board are backing us. The fans are reasonably happy. I think they're reasonably happy, but if you look at how far we've still got to go, it's all kinds going to happen this season.
And let's just hope as well that our season starts to lift off again with beating Spennymoor on Saturday.
Yeah, as I say, it's a local derby. It's a great game to play in for the lads and that. And some of them probably, Hunty and that's never really come across it, so it's new for him. He's been used to the big local derbies down his way. I think it'll be the first one for Macca, who's a local lad, obviously. So I think it'll be a good competitive game like they always are, and there might not be as much quality as there normally is in the games, because I think I'm expecting a good little battle up there. Tom will be wanting to come and prove a few doubters wrong without a shadow of a doubt, but we know what he's got, we know his threat, and they've got other players with quality as well. So we've got to keep them quiet and start feed into Glenn Taylor. Simple as that. And if we can stop that, then hopefully we can plough our foot on the game.